Right, the engines are on then. We're getting ready to get underway for round number 1 of Season 2 of the Fantasy League. He's going to get done in the braking zone here. Sweeps around the outside. We've got all kinds of chaos at the final chicane. What has happened here? Oh, they're all piling in.
Oh gosh, this is terrible.
Move, lads, what are you doing? It's not a get-off part. Oh, he's moving all over the place, Jeff Goldblum.
Pepe and Mike Conway just swapped positions. Is there an incident? They're doing the shuffle.
They're out of fuel. They're out of fuel.
They're doing the
History has repeated itself. Where are you going, Pepe?
Oh,
that's not the pit lane.
Oh, that's not the pit lane.
Can't get through there. That's a solid wall, Pepe.
Was it David Attenborough?
It was. That's a massive crash for David Attenborough. Oh, he's just flattered him for good measure. There's another one going. That's 8.
That's 8 now. He had to do a 360 for style. Oh,
Pepe's doing the old wiggle. Gonna have a look to the outside though. Don't want to go 2 by 2 in there, and he's over. Jeff Goldblum. Oh, and he's collected someone.
That was me, I think.
Well, at least these guys are staying off the racing line, but their speed is worrying me. They're going to try and overtake each other anyway, even though they're both wounded. Jeff Goldblum trying to shape up a move.
The geriatrics.
This new Formula 6 category that these two have created out here. It's like Ricky Bobby when he comes back to the NASCAR after having his accident.
That's exactly what this is.
I'm going so fast. You know, we've got Louis Spence off before the tournament.
That's Matt Neal.
That is Matt Neal. Oh, just
collected
him. Jeff Goldblum does a little pirouette over the top. Second place man, Cecil.
Oh no!
Oh no, that's a spin ahead. That's the back marker. That's
And then Ikeo comes and collects him.
Catty that's second and third place out of this race. So that's going to leave Flavio Brigatore in P2 in this race. Oh, there's a massive crash in the background. Cecil is facing the wrong way on the track.
Oh, that's another car out.
Oh, is it?
That's Ukio again. We already got some rivals for me.
Oh, we got massive crash at the top of the hill. That's Pepe. Oh God, that's a stranded 8 on the pit straight. Almost certainly Horace Catty-Hama puts himself into the. Oh, there's an absolute.
Oh, massive crash.
Susie
chaos. Wolf. That is
Johnny Schumacher
causing a smoke screen. Oh, that's Han Solo. Was he injured? I guess he was.
He is now.
Oh, who is that doing?
God, that's Book Me doing the Book Me.
What? There's the rivals.
It's going to be Heinz Harold Hill in round number 1 around Spa that will take home maximum points to get his first win. Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the Foxworth Autosport Fantasy League. It's time for round number 2 around the iRacing Super Speedway for 40 laps around this chaotic oval. Alongside me as always is Mr. Foxworth himself. How are you today, my friend?
Good. It's always a good day whenever we're around an oval in this series. It's going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of 3 wide as we're just in qualifying here. So, have to see how the drivers handle it. Indeed,
and we have a new feature for this oval that might go well, might not. We have full course yellows are going to be implemented for the first time in the Foxworth Autosport Fantasy League. Looks like they fixed it from some testing. Anyway, we've got some times on the board then. So we're coming to the last 3 minutes of qualifying. Currently it's Matt Neal for Hardy's team that is on pole position for this one. Keegan Spark is up there on the front row with him.
Exactly, and just as last year, you're going to want to start at the front or the back. There's no in between. If you're in that middle pack beginning, you're probably going to be out.
Well, some of them will survive, and hopefully with the full course yellows we should be able to have some people come back into it and get some laps back if they need to. But it's going to add a different level of strategy as well with the fuel, and when those guys decide to make the decision to pit. Under those full course yellows when they do come out, if they come out. I mean, they will come out, let's be honest. Still no change up at the top then, with a minute to go. So I think the guys just finishing their runs now. So it's still Matt Neal from Keegan Spark and Fook Yu are the top 3 at the moment. Jeff Goldblum, who we hope had turned over a new leaf for this season, but judging on Spa, he hasn't.
Yeah,
still
he was involved in a wreck. but I don't know if that was really his fault. So we'll have to see if he can keep it clean today.
The thing with Jeff, it doesn't matter if it's his fault. It's the fact he's always involved.
Involved in it.
So who were the other podium sitters from race 1?
I was hoping you weren't going to ask that because I am in the process of bringing up the spreadsheet.
Okay, well, I didn't ask it then. You're all good.
Good.
I know it's 3 returning names that were up there.
Yes, it's Heinz Harold Hill, Flavio Briatore, and Karen Horner.
That's right, yeah, okay. So it's Dan's second team that did very well, is currently leading the constructors, isn't it? Of Flavio Briatore and Fernando Alonso.
Of El Clasico Racing.
So we've got that little flag in the bottom right to say that the session is over. The check flag is out. That is the little marker you'll be looking for full course yellows once we get underway then. But it does look like Matt Neal is going to claim pole round the Speedway. And he's going to start on the front row along with Keegan Spark, Fook and Michael Scott on the second row, and 8 and David Attenborough, who improved late on there on the third row then.
So starting on pole and hopefully improving from last time out is Matt Neal. He started out strong last season and had a bad start this season, but maybe he can switch his fortunes and have a strong end to the season. Although it's the second race, so it's not really any close to the end of the season, but we'll see if he can start from pole and finish. And we got Keegan Spark in second, finishing up the front row. And then we got Fook, Michael Scott, 8, championship leader, had a tough one last time out. We'll see if he can recover. We got David Attenborough, Liam Bridesmaid, Jeff Goldblum, another top 10 start for Jeff. We'll see if he can keep it up and maybe finish out this race and not crash, but who knows. We got Tyler Ankrum, Mike Conway, Heinz Harold Hill, Pepe, Fukmi, Tora Takagi, Yuji Ide, Jesse Pinkman once again in the top half of the field. Very unusual strategy for him, but we'll have to see how it plays out. Karen Horner, Fernando Alonso, Susie Wolf, Enrique Lara, Bongo Cat, Alan Carr, Renger van de Zande, Taki Inoue, Johnny Schumacher, Louis Spence, Lando Calrissian, Samuel L. Jackson, Flavio Briatore came in second last time out, so he's starting way down the order. We'll have to see if he can maybe find some consistency. We got Sheldon Creed, Richard Attenborough, Catherine Payne, Han Solo once again starting in the back half of the field. It's not looking great for his podium position from last season, so we'll have to see if he can turn things around. Cecil, again, another top 3 last season, not looking good so far. We've got Kyle Busch. He is very good on the ovals, so hopefully he can transfer that into an open wheel car. And then finally, Ukio Katayama, another early starter in the series that had some misfortune last race, and looks like he's going to continue that, but we'll see if he can dodge the first incident and maybe make up some places.
It's that livery, I'm telling you. Like, they shouldn't have picked that, because George Trulli had a nightmare in that car last year. And he didn't have a very clean race in Spa, did he? But yeah, going to be interesting. You know, Matt Neal, was he a race winner? Season 1, yeah. I think he was, wasn't he? And he had a great start to the season, as you said. And then sort of petered away towards the end of it. So, good chance for him to lead away here. And as you say, the guys that start the front or the back have the best chance of avoiding the chaos. So that's where you want to be. Keegan Spark, I'm really hoping for Keegan's teams to do well this year, because he's always an avid supporter of the league and didn't have the best luck last year. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know how this is going to go. Obviously, we have the difference of... I really wish you could change the helmets for AI. It annoys me they all have the same helmet. I feel like ovals deserve the full course yellow treatment, right? Because that's what happens in them in real life, but I'm not sure how it's going to go. So it is a bit of a test. But we've got 3 ovals coming up this season, so hopefully...
Jeez, they're getting close to that wall.
it's quite... I'm not sure an F3 car is supposed to do that, really. But they are getting underway then, forming the grid for the formation lap. Of course, rolling starts for these boys around an oval. So a different skill and a different type of start than we had in Spa. Getting ready then to go underway. And it's a slightly smaller field this season, so might be a bit less chaos. A bit more chance of a clean race, but as soon as they start to form those 3 or 4 lines, there's going to be an impending crash at some point, isn't there?
Exactly, and it's usually going to be someone maybe touching that yellow line a little bit, maybe just losing a little bit of air in front and just sliding up into the other car. So it's probably going to happen in the third or fourth row, and then it's just going to collect a lot of drivers. So just be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, we're unlikely to miss it because there will be cars and carbon fibre and wheels and wings everywhere. But that's why we love the ovals. They're normally the most unpredictable, crazy races of the season. That's why we got 3 of them this year. And we start here at the iRacing Super Speedway for 40 laps of this oval then. So we're waiting for that Porsche safety car to peel away into the pit lane, and then we'll be underway. There we go then, Porsche safety car pulls away. It'll be Matt Neal that sets the pace and gets us underway for round number 2 in the Foxworth Autosport Fantasy League. He's made a very good start, as has Footcue on the inside line. Keegan Spark losing out, and as they now start to jostle for position to form those 2 or 3 lines as we go through turn 1. So it's 8 that's got the inside track and is now getting himself up into the lead. It's Matt Neal that's got onto the banking and into the 3rd line and getting himself into trouble at the moment as they're all starting to jostle for position. No accidents yet though.
Yeah, not yet, but it's looking very racy already. Everyone's trying to get a good position, good start. And 8 really launched well. They're 4 wide in some places.
It's an absolute mob. They're nearly 5 wide as that's car number 23, Richard Attenborough, that's going all the way down the inside of a lot of them. And that's going to cause problems. There is our first crash. That's going to bring out the caution then. And cars being caught up left, right and centre.
Is that Karen Horner with no wheels?
I said Richard Attenborough was going on his own line there, and I think he was the one that caused it. Because he was in a lane all in himself, and he just had no room to go. He saw the gap opening, and it's Hightower Hill that he's made contact with them, and then that's Fook Me, and then that's one of the Japanese Arrows drivers, and yeah, it's Karen Horner, as you said, that has been caught up in that as well. So caution flag is out, so we're back under caution. And,
didn't even have a complete lap.
Nope. That's not a surprise. So we've got Susie Wolf making her way out of pit lane now after being repaired. Fukmi, I think, managed to get going again, although that front wing doesn't look right. And it is 8 that is at the front of the field at the moment then, as that poor safety car picks them up. Well, it didn't take long.
Yeah, and 8's got a lot of proof this season, you know? Is it just a one-off? He didn't even get picked up by his team owner, so he really has a chip on his shoulder. So I think he's making moves early here, and we'll see if he can hold on to this thing.
To get yourself on a slightly different strategy. So we're going to have 8 that peels in. He's going to be followed by quite a few drivers, but there are quite a few that are carrying on. So we're already getting that difference in strategy under the yellow then. Well, this is going to be the added element that this safety car and the yellow flag cautions bring. So it's 8. Susie Wolf, Tyler Ankrum, Keegan Spark, Heinz Harold Hill, Takagi, Jesse Pinkman, Fernando Alonso, and the rest you can see on the left-hand side with those flashing pit markers. Those that have carried on then. Mike Conway, Liam Bridesmaid, Michael Scott. It's fine. We're going to get back underway then. So we're on lap 4 of 40. So those guys on the slightly different strategy. So 8 has found himself back in 12th after what was a great start to get himself from 5th to the front of the field. But it's going to be Mike Conway that leads the way alongside Liam Bridesmaid then. And then Michael Scott and Footcue on the second row as that safety car does peel away. How long will we stay green this time? Let's find out. They're underway. Mike Conway makes a great start. Michael Scott taking the inside line with him. Moves up into second place.
Already going for 3 wide action.
Yeah, they're already swarming all over the place. That's Pepe now finding the inside line. Getting himself up into the lead. And there's some more jostling position in the middle, but it's all okay at the moment.
They really seem to have split into 2 packs almost. Very interesting.
Yeah, they seem okay at the moment. So it's Pepe that's on the inside. That's now Lando Calrissian on the second row. And 8 has shuffled his way back through already. And up towards the front of the field on that alternate strategy. But all clean at the moment, and it's Pepe leading the way then.
Oh, will they hold it?
I think they all behave themselves in the middle of the pack there, just about. And we're going to have 1 green lap. I think we are. Although, the way they're swarming in the middle of that pack doesn't look like they want to. So it's Lando Calrissian now that's hitting the front on the outside. Who's that coming along the inside track? Is that... that's... Catherine Payne, I think, isn't it? The number 6 car on the inside. And big crash in the middle. It's Heinz Harold Hill. It's our race winner from round number 1 that's been caught up.
Championship leader.
Caution flag is back out again then.
Is that Jeff Goldblum?
Oh, yes, Jeff Goldblum that's been taken out by Johnny Schumacher then. Jeff Goldblum is doing a bit of a skateboard trick. He's doing a little grind on the catch fencing there. And that's going to need a bit of repairs for that car then. Okay, we have our second caution then on only lap 7. And who's that? Finding the way into the pit lane then. That's Bongo Cat, I think. No? It's Johnny Schumacher. That makes sense. He was called up in that first incident, wasn't he? What this does do is it gives us some nice little lulls.
And 8's going to take the lead here.
He, of course, made that pit stop, didn't he? Under
Karen
the first caution.
Karen Horner's pitting, which means she won't get the lucky dog. Who stayed out there?
It's just 8 and I'm trying to see. It's Alan Carr.
Alan Carr. Not a lap down.
Alan Carr stopped on lap 3 along with 8 then. So it's Jesse Pinkman that has found his way up into 3rd place then. He shuffles out just ahead of Johnny Schumacher. And then Flavio Briatore that will go past Schumacher as well then, presumably. Yeah, you're right. So he's just getting shuffled to the back of the pack.
Looks like a couple more people coming down the pit lane.
Yeah, so that's Jesse Pinkman pitting again.
Maybe just topping up on fuel.
So we're going to see these differing strategies, isn't we? So he's stopped 2 laps in a row.
Usually it's to top up fuel. So,
he's just stopped, though.
Yeah, exactly. I mean...
He was running P3. And we're back underway then. The safety car is out, and it will be 8 that leads us away on that inside line. As you said, they are getting a better start on that. So Flavio Briatore looks like he will follow through into P2 then, and they're starting to jostle position back there. Just have a clean lap, boys. Come on. Let's get racing now.
Green flag lap.
Through we go then. It's Pepe on that inside line then that has shuffled his way through to the front. 8's really struggling on the outside. He's got all out of shape somewhere there, and he's into the middle of the pack again. And that's Takeo Nue on the inside, and Flavio Briatore coming through the middle.
That's Ukio right there. I don't know if the teammates of Cecil is part of his rivalry, but he's right in front of 8 right now. Keep an eye on that.
Yep, definitely something to keep an eye on, those rivalries that will get themselves through the season then. So it's Pepe on that outside line. There's a lot of movement in the middle there. Looks like it's all okay at the moment. Susie Wolf getting a little out of shape, being shuffled back to the back. It's Flavio Briatore, though, that hits the front, as we do have another green flag lap, Fox, thankfully. They're starting to behave themselves. For how much longer, we'll have to wait and see.
Probably this next corner, because they are currently 5 or 6 wide.
Yeah, and that's Tyler Ankrum coming through on the inside track then. That's Bongo Cat and Flavio Briatore. On the outside, Briatore getting shuffled back to the outside, and that line not working out for him. And
Mark Scott drives into that bottom line.
Yep, so it seems to be where they're making progress at the moment. They keep getting shuffled to the outside as Pepe is finding out, and Flavio Briatore that are now right back in the middle of the field again.
Indeed, yeah. A lot of people get pushed and they want to block the lines, and it...
Oh, and that's contact. That's big contact. Oh, and multiple cars caught up this time. I don't know who's going to cause that.
8's involved. Looks like Alan Carr might be involved. That is Karen Horner underneath 8.
There's Cecil back there as well. Let's see if we can find out what's happened. So I think that's Samuel Jackson up the front there that's going to just get knocked by one of Tom Bryant's cars. And then that's Karen Horner there. That's 8 being caught up. And all sorts going on. We might as well get a few replays here while we wait for the grid to form back up again. Let's have a look at Foot Q a little bit to the back. So yeah, it was 2 of Tom Bryant's cars, I think, that made contacts and then hit Samuel Jackson, and that's everybody else caught up in it as well.
It's Han Solo. So it looks like everyone except for, like, it looks like, I don't know how many people are in the pits or not. It looks like 17 cars made it through, possibly.
It's a lot. We can go. Though, I think it's Mike Conway here. It's his teammate that's going to go onto the inside. That's what causes the initial contacts. And then everybody else gets caught up in it. Yes, it's Mike Conway, Keegan Spark, David Attenborough, 8, Takagi, Susie Wolf, Fernando Alonso, Foot Q, Michael Scott, Han Solo, Renger van der Zande, Karen Horner, Cecil, Heinz Howard Hill, and Richard Attenborough that were caught up in that incident then. Whoa! Well, we had a couple of laps.
Yeah.
And we're going to get Samuel Jackson coming back to the inside. So we're going to get a few more pitters then.
So it wasn't Samuel Jackson, was it one of the... Yeah, it was one of the Attenboroughs that...
Yes, sorry, it's the Attenboroughs that have got the other liveries, isn't it? Yeah, no, you're quite right. I think it's David Attenborough that got caught up. Well, both Attenboroughs have been caught up in that incident.
Order is Taki Inoue, Louis Spence, Matt Neal, our pole sitter, Tyler Ankrum, Kyle Busch, Catherine Payne, Lando Calrissian, Liam Bridesmaid, Sheldon Creed, and Alan Carr for your top 10. Well,
that's the thing. There's so many cars in the pit lane, although I think they are starting to filter back out, though. So they all make a mad rush. I mean, they're all a lap down, but they're still fighting for up to 20th place here, so... there's some bright old battles to go as they rejoins a little bit further behind. Susie Wolf coming back out as well is the last car then. Okay, so front row at the moment then for the restart. Taki Inoue and Louis Spence then. Second row at the moment is Tyler Ankrum and Matt Neal. Then it's Kyle Busch and Catherine Payne on the third row. And Liam Bridesmaid and Lando Calrissian on the fourth then. So, some new names being shuffled back to the front. Matt Neal's back up there again as well. So we'll see.
Looks like a lot of the returning drivers haven't used that skill of... Whoa!
We have a lucky dog.
Apparently. Is that a lucky dog, or did she just glitch out?
She's now showing on the lead lap again, so...
I think
that could have ended in disaster.
She might have supposed to go on the outside row and just glitched out. Because that's not a usual time to have a lucky dog.
It might be. We're back underway, though. So she has been released, whatever has happened. Taki Inoue leads the way then. Matt Neal, and then that's Louis Spence getting onto the inside line there. As we get underway once again. And it's a little bit more spread out this time, which might be good for getting a bit deeper into this race. But it's Matt Neal then. Challenged by Kyle Busch that's now hit the front then. And it's Lando Calrissian and Flavio Briatore on that inside line. Sorry, go on.
The oval experience seems to be paying off for Kyle Busch.
Yeah, he's just watching those guys cause trouble for themselves and picking his way through. That's his experience around the oval, obviously. So we've got Pepe making that dangerous fifth line. I think he's just about going to be able to get ahead. Oh, there is contacts between Pepe and Lando Calrissian, but they've held it.
Though. Yeah.
Good job, lads.
I feel like they're going to be slower than the other cars around them, though, so we'll probably see them come flying down the Susie Wolf pits.
Yep, I think she might run out of fuel by the look of it, the speed she was going. So, well, they've had to ask her to turn it off because her brakes had failed. That's why she just sailed past the inside of everybody.
Wouldn't surprise me.
So that's at the head of each... Oh, that's a big crash in the middle.
That's Johnny Schumacher.
It is Johnny Schumacher again. That's...
David
Attenborough, and 96 is Alan Carr that's been caught up there then.
He was having a good run today.
He was. I mean, plenty of chance to get back into it. It's going to be Michael Scott on the inside.
The Han Solo over into Richard Attenborough.
Yep, Jeff Goldblum's been caught up. 8 again.
8 again.
Our race winner from last time out, Heinz Harold Hill as well. So, yep, it's full course yellow once again. So we've got Mike Conway's the first car a lap down. But with the amount of cars that are a lap down, the lucky dog really isn't enough, is it? Just releasing one each time. Right, they're all going to come in then. So everybody's decided this is a time to get themselves some fuel.
Looks like everyone, even the lap cars, are coming down, so no lucky. Just looks like Lewis Hamilton at Hungary right now with that safety car.
Just waiting for the safety car. Oh, there's a bit of contact there. Well, they are jostling for position. They try and find their pit boxes. Even the AI struggle to find the pit boxes in iRacing. Something we can all relate to. So we'll see who exits back out. I think it's going to be Bongo Cat. Has found himself at the front of the field then.
Impressive stuff.
Yeah, 28 seconds stop then. It's a 30-second for like Lando Calrissian and Pepe. Matt Neal with a 31-second stop. Tyler Ankrum 33 seconds. So quite a bit of difference between the pit crews, and that's going to get Bongo Cat out in the head of the field then.
Wonder if Bongo Cat didn't take tires, or maybe he's short fueled or something.
Well, theoretically, I guess if he had less to refuel, maybe that was a factor. As we've got David Attenborough being shuffled to the back of that pack then, as he is a lap down, and presumably stopped when he shouldn't have.
Yeah, I think he continued after the incident and fixed some damage. So he's serving that penalty, the end of line penalty.
Oh! And he's made contact.
Yep, that was what I was worried about, who to make contact with.
Tonight we're going to have a little look. Someone
That's
coming
Susie
through
Wolf
on the outside. Oh, that was a bad time to... Can't wait.
I think it's Susie Wolf. Maybe she doesn't have brakes.
Oh, it is Susie Wolf, yeah. Maybe she's got the old Martin Brundle problem, because she's going to arrive on the scene at 120 miles an hour and just collects him.
But, David Attenborough saved half the field with that move, actually.
That's Michael Scott that she's hit.
Oh.
She's definitely caught some Martin Brundle fever.
That's two drivers that I feel real shame didn't return. Martin Brundle decided to stay out of it this season after his multiple concussions at Bathurst. And Ted Kravitz, again, returns to the pit lane. Just wasn't his sort of scene.
Well,
so.
he got a win at Bathurst, so he's got that on his CV for
exactly
the years to come. That's all he needed. And yeah, Martin Brundle was advised by his family and his doctors not to get back in a race car in this series. And I think that's for the best of everybody.
So maybe Susie Wolf next season. We'll have to see if there's some permanent brain damage or not. But
so Bongo Cat has just pitted again then. So maybe you're right. Maybe he didn't get the fuel in.
Possibility. I mean, we know Rage and pit stops in this series. A lot of mistakes. A lot of bad strategy calls. So wouldn't shock me.
So it's Michael Scott that's on the inside. I don't know if he should be there or not.
I think he's probably supposed to be on the outside, but he's trying to figure out how to get there.
I think he's going to bring himself into pit lane then.
Interesting call. But we're underway.
We are then. So it's Sheldon Creed that will lead the way then from Lando Calrissian. Pepe will probably follow through into that inside track and does. It's Carl Busch on the outside. Matt Neal finds his way on the inside then, trying to move up a couple of positions. And we're underway again at the oval. So it's Matt Neal that finds himself at the front now then. It's Pepe on the inside track, and then that's Tyler Ankrum getting shuffled. No, it's Sheldon Creed getting shuffled to the back on the outside line. And here comes Pepe on the outside of Matt Neal then. Carl Busch trying to follow through, as is Foukmi now finding himself on that outside line as well. And all well behaved so far, but give it time.
Yeah, I'm not liking that single car in the bottom lane there. Probably going to cause some issues coming into this turn. And it does, and there's a huge crash.
It is, yeah. It was, I think that was Tyler Ankrum that caused that. And you're right, he was on that inside track. And it was never going to work, was it? It's Hightower Hill again then that he's made contact with.
Aaron Horner goes up to the wall. I think Liam might have been hit. He might have just barely made it through. Is that
Fernando Alonso, Johnny Schumacher.
Johnny Schumacher in 8.
Yeah, he just recovering.
Just recovering and didn't dodge at all. doesn't have the reaction times.
No, he doesn't. Cecil used his experience to find his way through, though.
Oh, but is he? What is he? Oh,
it's Lando Calrissian, actually, that was also stranded on the inside. That engine's still running. He went a long way with 2 wheels. He really wanted to get back to the pit lane. You see, yeah, Karen Horner there coming across, putting him into the barrier.
Very unfortunate for Lando.
But, 2 wheels on his wagon doesn't stop him. I've driven the Millennium Falcon through the Parsec run into under 12 seconds, so he famously has done it quicker than Han. It's just a lesser known fact.
Famously. Catherine Payne up into the lead.
It is then, yep. So it's Catherine Payne, and who we got peeling off there? That was car 23. Oh, they're laps down. That's Richard Asper that's coming into pit again then, followed by Takagi and the other Attenborough, isn't it? Richard Attenborough that's following in. Okay, so we find ourselves halfway stage then. We're just over lap 22 for Catherine Payne. Matt Neal, Flavio Briatore. So those guys that... well, Matt Neal's had a good race throughout, as is Pepe, who seems to be avoiding trouble well, and as you say, the oval specialist Kyle Busch as well. And then Flavio Briatore up 26 places. Catherine Payne up 31. Showing what can be done at the oval if you stay out of trouble.
Yeah, we got some early contenders for the Jesse Pinkman Award, but we'll have to see. Long way to go.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's a long, long way to go. So we have only 13 cars left on the lead lap. So I would say there's 13 cars that have the possibility to win this at the moment then. So we got Catherine Payne, Matt Neal, Flavio Briatore, Kyle Busch, Pepe, Taki Inui, Ukyo Katayama, Fukmi, Enrique Lara, Sheldon Creed, Louis Spence, Liam Bridesmaid, and the final car on the lead lap is Bongo Cat, although he's got quite a few lapped runners ahead of him. Yeah, we might say, I wanted to run it because it's what happens at ovals, right? It makes it a bit more authentic, but yeah, we'll have to, as I say, you guys let us know. Obviously, you don't have to watch the full thing, so it might be quite interesting to watch all the cautions when it's cut up.
That's why I said it's going to be a 20-minute race, this video, because you're going to cut out most of the caution periods.
True. Might make it a nice little snappy watch for you guys, but yeah, do let us know what you think of the caution periods and whether we should have them in the final 2 ovals of the season. So we're waiting for that Porsche safety car to peel away again, and then it will be Catherine Payne and Matt Neal that take us away.
There's a huge crash already. That's Susie Wolf again.
We're not going green. Caution is staying out then, because I think Susie Wolf has lost her marbles completely. Yep, she's going to arrive on the scene. Oh, Cecil and... is it UKEJ? No.
No. Is it Tech? No.
No, it's the 4th one of those drivers. I think it was Takagi, yeah.
Yep. Tora Takagi.
And 8.
Oh, did 8 get a wave around?
I think he might have done, you know. Well, I'm not sure what he was doing there, but...
So he's overtaking some cars under safety car, but that's interesting.
Well, he's 3 laps down, so I don't know if that made any difference, but caution will stay out then. Right, I think we are going to try and go green this time. I'm just going to double check. Susie Wolf is in the pits, so she's not going to cause any problems this time around. So
yeah,
we are green. The safety car is away, and Catherine Payne leads us away then on that inside line. Matt Neal on the outside, followed by Kyle Busch. Flavio Briatore and Pepe are going to follow through on that inside line then, as Catherine Payne then moves to the outside to cover.
Be on the lookout for Flavio and Kyle Busch to take over the championship lead here, depending on how this race finishes. They're both performing really well, and they did well last time out.
Well, Catherine Payne's had a shocker by going to the back of to that outside line. She's now right back in the middle of the pack. It's Pepe then at the front that has hit the front, along with Katayama that's coming through on the outside now, along with Flavio Briatore.
Samuel Jackson, don't do it! Don't do it!
You don't need to be fired there, mate. Please don't.
He's going for the lead, but he's not going to make it. Oh.
Is he? Oh, no, he's going to get crowded out.
Oh, caution, caution, caution. Is that Jeff Goldblum? I think we missed a big crash here. I think it's just Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, I don't know that we needed a caution for that. It's only Jeff Goldblum, and he's only going to do it again, so... yeah, so...
That's David Attenborough.
That's David Attenborough and Karen Horner putting themselves through. I think there's a bit of rear wing damage for 8 as well that got clipped.
Ancillary teammates there. Liam's team. Not Liam Bridesmaid, that's not his actual last name.
It is, he's changed it by default. And I think 8 is going to... Oh no, it's not 8. Who is it that's jumped in the pit lane? I think it's Cecil. That's jumped in with
and Johnny Schumacher.
Yeah.
And who's that up there? David Attenborough, I think.
It is, yeah. So it's obviously caught up in that as well. And we have ourselves another caution.
And look who's out.
Oh no.
I think Susie Wolf has exited the pits.
Oh dear. Well, this caution will be extended. It's not happened yet, I've just got a feeling.
Do you remember that one driver that had a concussion in Brazil and then decided to retire before the full season one? I think Jenson Button made the right call here.
I mean, he returned quite successfully for the Daytona 2.4 hours.
That's true. That's true. Forgot about that.
She's come off the throttle, which is good news.
She's found the other pedal.
I think she's run out of fuel. There's no,
to be fair,
there's no throttle at all in that car. And she's
yeah, she's coming to the pits. I think you're right. I think there might be a fuel leak. There might be fuel all over the track. We're going to see a blaze in a minute.
They're using shopping bags at this point for fuel tanks. All they got left down there, and we've got everybody into the pit lane then. So
this is not going to be the last stop, I don't think. But it's not too far off.
I don't know. We haven't really found out what the range is of these cars because we've not had a look green period long enough.
Is that a slow stop for Matt Neal?
I think it might be, you know. Matt Neal, 38 seconds. Yeah, he's lost 6 in that stop then to some of the quicker guys. And that's put him at the back of those on the lead lap then. So he's 13th. UJ Ide has actually found himself back onto the lead lap for all that. So maybe we are getting a lucky dog and we're missing it. Or it's just the way he might have stayed out and not pit. Oh, there's what's going on in the middle of that pack.
Trying to shuffle for position. I think a couple of people have penalties and are trying to move back. Oh boy.
They're trying to sort themselves out. Where's Susie Wolf? Because she is back on track now.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it's complete. Go back, go back. Oh,
this is not going to be good news. Hurry up and sort yourselves out, boys. Susie's on her way. I think she's out of fuel again.
Oh, she's just not retaining any fuel in that car.
No. Yeah, she's come completely off throttle again.
Might be for the best.
I think so. So they try and sort themselves out in the middle of this pack then.
And they're about to go too wide.
Oh god.
Yeah, here they come. Oh. Trying to figure it out. Matt Neal down the inside.
Matt Neal, I think you're right. I think it's because they're now into the final 15 laps, aren't they, as you said?
Yeah, and they need to...
Getting back into position.
Yeah, they need to let the lap cars to the back, and they need to get the lead lap cars up to the front.
So this might be where we start seeing issues as they try and sort themselves out. Well, let's ignore what's going on back there, as though it's not happening. So it's Enrique Lara, Louis Spence, Pepe, Flavio Briatore, Katayama, Sheldon Creed, Carl Busch, Bongo Cat, Liam Bridesmaid, Fukumi, Taki Inui, Catherine Payne, Matt Neal, and the final car on the lead lap is UJ Ide then.
Caution, and it's not the white flag. Oh! Huge crash. We'll get to that in a minute. So if it's
Susie Wolf again. She's taken out Cecil again, but we're back underway anyway.
Are we?
Yep. I think it happened it happened at the perfect time because we didn't get a caution because it was just being released. So it's Enrique Lara that's leading us away then. That's Kyle Busch moving to the inside. That's Katayama coming through the inside track there. And Flavio Briatore moving to the outside with Fukmi then. And that's Liam Bridesmaid now hitting the front down the inside. Well, the lead group's getting a bit smaller. So we might be able to get a few laps of green flag racing here.
Who's that going down the inside?
That's Takagi, I think. Oh, big crash, big crash. That's, I've no idea who that was. Was that Matt Neal? It was Matt Neal.
Such a shame.
Oh, he's having such a good race.
That's Michael Scott in the danger livery. Getting into one of the Japanese
and that's
drivers.
Book Me has been launched.
Screaming her own name into that wall.
She was indeed. Oh dear, such a shame. Two of Hardy's drivers take each other out. Our race winner from last time, Heinz Howard Hill, also getting caught up in that. Currently 4 laps down, unfortunately. It's currently saying she's doing 272 kilometers an hour, so it doesn't look like she's going to.
She's just going around the outside? Yeah, I think she's going to make it around the outside.
Oh!
Oh, no! That is...
No, that's Keegan Spark.
Oh, was he on the lead lap?
No, he wasn't, but he didn't deserve that. Oh! Heinz Howard Hill just squeezes through.
Oh, such a shame.
Are we not going green? Really? I wonder why. Oh, goodness me.
Fook me.
Fook me, indeed. Keegan Spark saying "fuck you" to Susie Wolf. She had no reason to merge.
She didn't really merge. That was Keegan Spark going up. I think he was going up for a 2-wide start.
So it'll be the 34th lap when they're released this time around then. So it's Bongo Cat that will lead them away. Liam Bridesmaid and Taki Inui in that outside line. And Kyle Busch just behind Bongo Cat on that inside track. So yeah, any of these top 12 can still win this. And be a big win for any of them, really. As you say, Flavio Briatore most likely to take the championship lead after this one.
We'll have to see between him and Kyle Busch. So we'll see who makes the final push for the lead here. How aggressive everyone's going to be. There's at least another caution in us. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, at least she didn't make the back. I hope she didn't make the back of the back. I can't see anybody else damaged, so I think we're okay. She's had a crash all on her own, hopefully. Right, we're getting released then. That Porsche safety car will peel away for about 10th time. And it'll be Bongo Cat that leads us away then. With just 7 laps to go then. Kyle Busch taking that inside line. Liam Bridesmaid losing a little bit on the outside there. And so they start to shuffle through. So it's Take Inui. Uku Katayama that's making the run on the inside, trying to hit the front. Bongo Cat losing out massively on the outside track there.
Same with Flavio Briatore, but Kyle Busch is sitting there in the second row.
Yep, it's Catherine Payne that's looking to threaten from the second row there. And then, yes, you say Enrique Lara coming through the inside. Louis Spence getting up in the tow.
Michael Scott's down on that bottom lane there. Let's see if he causes more incidents.
He's several laps down, so he really shouldn't be there, but he is. Oh no.
David Attenborough for 5 wide.
Don't do it, David.
Yep.
Oh. Oh. Well, this has been a failed experiment. Oh, it's Matt Neal caught up again. That's the other Attenborough that he's taken out.
Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, it's Jeff Goldblum. That's Howard Hill and Cecil coming to a stop. Oh dear. Well, I say it's a failed experiment. You guys might love this. I don't know.
I feel like it's just a cookie cutter crash every restart. Oh, it's Fook me right out in the middle. Oh, Johnny Schumacher.
Well, safety team's working hard today.
Yukio's coming in, and everyone's coming in, and who's staying out? That looks like Richard Attenborough. Maybe they're just trying to dodge Susie Wolf here.
It might not be a bad move, you know. So yeah, I don't think we're seeing... Yeah, UJ Ide is the one that stayed out then.
See if he gets taken out by Susie Wolf here.
I think she's run out of fuel again. Thankfully.
Spared some people's lives.
Yeah, indeed. Right, well, UJ Ide is the only one that stayed out. As Katayama is the first to get back out of the pits then, followed by Catherine Payne, Enrique Lara, Taki Inui, Louis Spence, Carl Busch, Sheldon Creed, Pepe, Flavio Briatore. That looks like a bad stop. Well, it's only a second slower, but that's lost him a position or two. Bongo Cat and Liam will be the last of those on the lead lap then. So, master stroke or complete mistake from UJ Ide? We'll have to wait and see.
People starting from the lead have seemed to have lost all momentum, so I think it's kind of a bad spot to be in for the AI. I just don't think they can handle the restarts well.
They restart well, and then they seem to merge to the outside to defend.
Yeah,
which seems
to
to
defend
be...
and...
Oh, Keegan, mate. I think Keegan needs to talk to his pit crew. That's not... We've finally done it. We've run out of parts. We found a car that we can't repair, or has he been hit during this? Oh, look at the detail on that rear suspension. Did he get caught up in?
Oh, he came out of the pits like that, yeah.
I think we've done it. We've finally broken Delara. They've run out of rear wings.
The CEO has resigned today. That's a UJ Ide Super License Warriors front row. And yeah, you're right, that's Catherine Payne and Enrique Lara second row. Fox's Wet Dream second row.
So they're two teams that could lock this out if they work together.
We'll have to see how they work together and whether Susie Wolf shows up or not.
So she's back in the pit. Oh, actually, I think she's going back out. Well, this could be bad. Get going. Speed up the green flag again, boys.
Well, I think they might make it around in time.
Go, boys, go. I think we're going to get a restart then.
That Porsche car is probably just pulling in for fuel at this point.
Right, that leads the way then. UJ on the inside, being followed by Catherine Payne. Katayama on the outside, being followed by Enrique Lara. And then it's Take Inui coming through on the inside. As UJ does get shuffled to the outside then.
Gonna try to block his teammate. Not working together well. Catherine Susie Wolf is hanging out in the background.
Oh, UJ all out of shape on the outside there. He does get shuffled out.
I wonder if that might be tire marbles. That might be some fuel issues. Because he didn't stop.
He didn't, and it's Carl Busch coming through the middle now. Carl Busch hitting the front.
It's now or never if it finishes under caution.
Absolutely, although I don't like the look of Pepe on the inside there.
And who is that? Is that Alan Carr going for a dive down the inside?
It is. He's whacked his nose in, and he's causing a massive caution.
Massive caution.
Oh, they're getting caught up left, right, and centre. There goes Susie Wolf. Right into the back of them. Oh, so many cars being caught up this time.
So it looks like Catherine Payne and Enrique Lara made it through, though.
So that's Pepe that she's taken out on the inside. Oh, and that's Lando Calrissian that's been knocked out. Johnny Schumacher. Matt Neal again. Untitled Hill again.
Attenborough brother. Susie Wolf, I think, just ran into. I feel like she could have dodged that wreck, probably.
Oh, she absolutely launched it.
Yep. That's 8.
Oh, dear.
Might have to have a banned driver.
Richard Attenborough. David Attenborough. Keegan Spark. Oh, he might get going. He does. And doesn't pit. It doesn't need to be repaired at this point.
Got no parts. But Kyle Busch is leading, and if we don't have a green-white checkered, I think he's going to win this race.
Yeah, that's the question now, isn't it? Will this finish under caution, or will there be a green-white checkered? In which case, it's anybody's still. If not, we're going to see a podium of Kyle Busch, Pepe, and Sheldon Creed then. Who would have expected that?
Wasn't Pepe involved in that wreck?
He was contact was made with him, but
Is Kyle Busch coming into pit? What is he doing? If this is not a green-white checker, then he's giving up the win.
I don't know what he's doing. So Pepe's carried on, along with Sheldon Creed, Liam.
So we'll see right now, as they cross the line, if the lap count changes, then it doesn't. It's going to finish under caution, and Kyle Busch has given up the win.
So this will be the final race of the final lap of the race then?
Exactly. I don't see any indication of a green-white checkered here, and that has been a disaster from the KEEGAN's pit wall.
That's a massive miscalculation then. From Kyle Busch, Katayama, Bongo Cat, and yeah, no, they're the last one, only ones on the lead lap that pitted them. So it's going to be Pepe the Frog. How does Rage do it?
I don't know.
Once again, I think he might get the race win here. It's going to be podiums for Sheldon Creed and Liam Bridesmaid, and some very good points finishes from Take Inui, Louis Spence, and Catherine Payne. And Flavio Briatore still nicely inside that top 10 then. So, presumably, we will see it go checkered. Although, we haven't seen a white flag either.
Yeah, we'll see. This could be a masterstroke from Kyle Busch. Get some fresh tires, some fuel on board, make it to the end here. But if we're not going green again, then what a disaster.
It's, yeah. We don't know the rules. They don't know the rules.
That's a possibility.
None of us really know what's going on here.
And to be fair, Pepe could possibly go into the pits here and just give up the lead again. I don't know what the strategy call is going to be.
I don't know what they're doing. It very much looks like he's on the track to pit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Are we going to see checkered? They're staying out. So this could be the victory. Or we might get a green-white checkered.
Is that it? It says caution still.
Yep, no, it says finished.
All right.
So
Pepe wins.
Pepe the Frog has taken the victory then. From Sheldon Creed, Liam Bridesmaid, Take Inui, Louis Spence, Catherine Payne, Enrique Lara, Flavio Briatore, UJ Ide, Kyle Busch round off the top 10. And it's disastrous for Kyle Busch. That was his race to win.
He made the moves, then why are they getting into two lines here? Are they going to restart anyways?
I'm not sure.
Oh, huge crash.
Was that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just Susie Wolf. It's
Takes out 8. That's 8. That's 8.
It is 8.
Oh. All right. We're definitely at the end here.
Yep. So it is a victory for Pepe then. And yeah, a massive issue with strategy for Kyle Busch, Katayama, Bongo Cat. They've thrown away some really good points there. They'll still get some decent points for 10th, 11th and 12th. But
could have been so much more.
Exactly. Could have been a first victory in a debut season for Kyle Busch. But as it is, it's a victory for Pepe and Rage. Sheldon Creed gets on the podium along with Liam Bridesmaid. Well, that was something.
I think we got 2 laps of green flag racing, so you're going to have a heck of a time editing this down.
It'll be easy this time, because it'd be easy to cut stuff out. Normally I'm like, I don't know what I actually want to cut out, but not going to be hard this one.
Yep.
Well, we'll obviously top up the scores and see where we are after round number 2 in the Drivers and the Constructors Championship. Obviously, do let us know what you think of us using the cautions. Actually, we've got 2 more ovals and we can very easily remove them. We'll see if we can tweak it a bit. Personally, I thought it was added a different layer, but the problem was they were so regular.
Yeah. That's the thing. And they got out too soon to kind of thin out the field. So, like, if they were in the pits for like 20 minutes or something, then it would have thinned out the field and maybe not have had so many cautions. But yeah,
it might also work differently at different ovals as well, because the big problem with the caution there was the single car that always wanted to take a 5th lane.
Yes.
And and that really did cause an issue. So, yeah, let us know your thoughts. But let's get the scores tossed up and let you know where things stand after round 2.
So after tallying up the points, we got Flavio Briatore assuming the lead. Heinz Harold Hill does fall down to 5th in the championship. But Liam Bridesmaid jumps up into 2nd. Kyle Busch goes from 4th to 3rd. And Pepe also flies up to the top of the leaderboard. Everything's going to be very kind of hectic at the beginning here. But as people finish and we complete a lot of races, everything's going to kind of average out. There might be a few standouts, but as things go along, it's going to be a very tight championship, and expect maybe the top 10 to be in and mathematically in by the end of the season. And then moving over is El Clasico Racing is still high up there and Means to the Moon as well. HWT are up in 3rd, Pepsi Haters in 4th, and Fox's Wet Dream pops up into 5th. So
yeah, absolutely.
Looking pretty good for Mario's teams there in 5th and 6th. Got 2 up there. And yeah, Team Principals takes a big dive bomb for some reason. I don't know why.
Don't know.
Definitely couldn't have anything to do with Susie Wolf killing everyone.
No, she's still 29th though, so she's not last. Cecil and 8 are last though. Can you imagine such a thing? Yeah,
I was very condescending towards Rage for dropping the drivers, but maybe he just foresaw something that I didn't. So we'll have to see if they can recover.
Well, as we discussed last time, they're not fresh memes in terms of they're old, but they're fresh to the league, and that's what you need to do with memes apparently. So Memes to the Moon up there in 2nd again with 2 separate drivers, and you thinking you'd be smart by picking up Cecil and 8. Not working out for you at the moment.
For the moment, but as we remembered, 8 had a dominating run there in the latter half of the season. Got 2 wins and a podium right in a row, and that really launched his championship charge. So let's hope he can follow that up this year.
Yep, very true. It just takes one of these drivers to go on that kind of run again, although I'm not sure we'll see the likes of that couple back-to-back victories for 8, but you never know, they might prove me wrong. But yeah, some good results around the oval for the likes of Liam, Kyle Busch and Pepe have got themselves up into the championship picture, and yeah, still looking very close, and as you said, it can change around at any moment as it did last year. So still 8 rounds to go and a lot of chaos to happen, but I hope you guys did enjoy round number 2 around the iRacing Oval. So do join us next time out round Bathurst. Anybody that watched season 1 will know that that is a firm favourite and likely to be absolute chaos once again. Do let us know what you thought of us including the full course yellows in this oval. We've got 2 more ovals to come, as I said, so we can always change that if it didn't fit everybody's expectations in terms of how that ran, but it's a different type of race. Any final thoughts after 2 rounds, Fox?
Yeah, it's looking to be just as crazy as last season. We don't have that. I guess we kind of do with El Clasico Racing. With Matt Neal last year, it just seemed like an easy kind of dominating run with BBW Cosworth Racing, but it seems like there's been a lot of new entrants that have been showing up, and we'll have to see how that pans out throughout the whole season.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's we do have 2 drivers, or have a driver and a team clearly ahead, but it's nothing like the kind of advantage we saw for BBW last year. So much closer going into round 3. So do join us for that. Thank you everybody for watching along. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you again next time.